Hey guys, my name is Mamoru Hikaru, and if you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know that I'm a streamer on Twitch. We're uploading videos on YouTube, content creator, write our own manga, and now we're starting a little special project, but we'll get into that a little bit later. For those that are new, my back lore for VTuber is I'm an angel that came from heaven to basically get rid of the darkness in human hearts. And the way I decided to do that is by becoming a streamer because I could reach a wide variety of audience. But yeah, enough about me. I have a special guest here with me if you want to introduce yourself.
Hey guys, it's cordial spin. Nah, just playing. It's Simon Fada here. Me myself, I just started um, on Twitter, and I mean, I'm also on YouTube, but I don't really stream videos there. Well, not stream, but per se, record videos and post there. I'm barely on Twitter. Like I said, I'm a scrub little man. I scuff most of my streams, but hey, I try. And I'm getting my art done right now, but life requires bills of money to for these wonderful artists. Um, I'm pretty sure I can shout out the artist, Rakami.
Yep.
He's over on Twitter, makes amazing PNGs. He's even willing to rig it for me. But that is me.
Yeah, and so if you guys are wondering, why are we here today, Simon?
That would be because we're starting a podcast, y'all.
Yep, that's right. An anime podcast. Unlike,
Trash Taste, who doesn't even they don't even talk about anime.
yeah, what's up with that? They call themselves an anime podcast, but they don't even talk about anime anymore. So, yeah, this is a call out to them. If they want to come on the show, then that'd be great. But, yeah. So, what, starting a podcast, Simon, first, you got to come up with what you're going to talk about, which we discussed anime. But secondly, you got to name your podcast. What's the name of our podcast?
Antaku.
Wait, Antaku? Is that like from a certain anime that we perhaps watched?
Oh yeah, it's actually from Tokyo Ghoul. Kind of. It's got a little wordplay on it. You see, theirs is spelled different. We spell ours like Antaku as in Talku. Well, they spell theirs a different way that we're not gonna try to spell.
Yeah. And also, it's not a jab at Podtaku, which was Garn's former podcast before forming Trash Taste. Yeah. Um, so today we have a little special something for you guys. Since it is the first episode, we wanted to kick it off right, the right way, which is talking about anime. And what better way to do that than by doing a 3 by 3 anime? Yay! White people happy. And if you guys don't know what a 3 by 3 is, you basically have 3 columns across and then 3 rows down, and you pick 9 of your favorite anime. And today I will kick it off first. So, ba-bam! There we go. We have on the left High School DxD, amazing anime, my number one favorite of all time. And so a lot of people give it kind of a bad reputation, especially Garn. Sorry if I keep bringing him up. I love the guy. He's given me a lot of inspiration, but also got to call him out when he's wrong. So he said that the only reason people watch High School DxD is
Uba.
because of the booba. That's right. And yes, I completely agree. You start the anime because of the booba. But what makes you stay is the amazing character development, which there's plenty of, the storytelling, They have lore, the boss music, amazing fights. Like, what else could you ask for? Oh, and they also throw in pop culture references. Like, I recall in one of the episodes, the main character, Issei, says it's easier than doing the type art challenge. I mean, come on, that's freaking funny. I laughed when it came out. And they've also referenced, like, low key, Dragon Ball Z. They said Dragon Boy Z, I think it was. I don't know if you
Oh
remember.
yeah, I do
Yeah,
remember that.
it was in season one. And also remember one of the gods in the later seasons, they said Son Goku.
Well, that's because that's also a mythological
Yeah. But there's a lot of references thrown here and there.
character.
Um, yeah, if you're into mythology, let me tell you, this is your anime. And obviously, fan service. Who's gonna say
Oh,
no?
very much so.
Yeah,
I mean, plus, it saves lives.
yeah, exactly. Because I don't know if Simon wanted me to get into this, but the main reason why DXD is my favorite anime of all time is because when I was in a really dark place in my life, I came across DXD and it ended up saving my life. And I've rewatched that anime about what, 30, 40 times now? It's literally the only anime that I've watched over and over and over. Like I could tell you each episode by memory because I have it so ingrained. Now, I know that some people didn't like the new art when they changed from season 3 into 4. Yes, I agree. My favorite art was season 1 through 3, but what the studio did to the main artist um, was a little bit messed up. So I don't know if you guys, if you've seen it, you'll recall that from episodes 9 through 12, the studio decided to create their own story where Issei is like kind of betrayed by Rias, which, if you've ever read the manga, that never actually happened. Like
Yes,
they
he's a good
came up
boy.
with it. Yeah, exactly. Like they're the best couple. And so I only watched those 3 episodes once in my life, and I've never watched those again. I always skip them after episode 8 and move on to the new season because uh, in season 4, the author has episode 0, which is kind of it retcons episodes 9 through 12. So, and then you kick off into the actual content for season 4. Yeah, so my favorite fight was, well, one of them was when they fought against the hero faction. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh yes, that was so badass.
Yeah, when Issei did the whole zombies and they're walking around.
Oh,
Yeah, good little.
I mean, I
co-
definitely love his what is it, boob lingual in season 4.
Oh yeah, the booby lingual.
But honestly, my favorite moment was when what was, I don't remember if it's his first or second fight with Volley.
In season 4 or which
Season
one?
one, no, season one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
How they tricked Issei into pretty much fighting him because if he divides the world, that'll divide the boobs.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
And
I
he's like,
remember.
bro, that fight was both funny and epic.
He kind of clowned on your best girl. Do we want to say who her best waifu in the anime is?
I mean, I think they by now figured out who your best wife
Yeah,
is.
obviously, if you guys didn't know, it's Asya. I couldn't even say that with a straight face. No, obviously it's Rias. Like she's best girl in all of anime. I know some of you might disagree, but hey, it's okay to be wrong. But who's your waifu for DXD?
Oh, that girl, she may have itty bitty titties, but that personality is on fire. And I dare say, that booty is fine.
She
Ain't got
do
no
got a
cat
booty.
ears. You can lick my Nico kneecaps anytime.
Ayo. But yeah, so you guys, if you're not sold on it yet, there's a new season coming out. Hopefully this year. I don't know, man. They're taking a while, but
My guess is 2042.
and even then, it might get pushed again.
Whoa, 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 calm down. This is not Hunter x Hunter.
Ouch. But yeah, uh, we could move on to the second one, which is Death Note. It's a classic. It's one of the ones that got me started into anime, I want to say. So I went through a period of time where the only anime I ever watched was Dragon Ball. And yeah, that was it. That was the only anime I had ever watched. And then one of my old best friends was like, "Hey, you should watch Death Note. You're really gonna like it." And I started Death Note. I fell in love with Light and Misa, and from that, it just went downhill into degeneracy. I started watching every single anime out there. So I went from watching only one anime, which was Dragon Ball, into watching almost all of them. I mean, I know you don't do this, but I watch the episodes as soon as they come out in Japan.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I'm sorry, but I can't wait.
but I'm a binger, man. That is my lifestyle. My Nindo way.
Yeah,
Datemayo.
that's fair. Um, Speaking of binging, I remember I binged Death Note, and what is it, the first 16 or 18 episodes? Amazing. God tier. As soon as,
Is, is that a spoiler you're about to say?
yes.
Soon
So,
as someone.
spoiler warning for those of you who have yet to watch Death Note, which is what, over 10 years maybe?
You never know. Someone will always get it, but.
That's true. I mean, I got into it pretty late. But yeah, so as soon as, let's just say one of the main characters dies,
Mhm.
I personally feel like the show started going downhill. So I don't know what happened there. The studio got lazy or what. It just didn't feel like the same vibe anymore. So but even the music change, I'm sorry, I didn't vibe with it.
Oh no, I love the first opening best.
But I did like, I don't know if it was an OVA or a movie where they tease that the main character is around. I don't know. I'm not
Oh
trying to
yes, it's a
spoil it.
movie,
Oh, okay, yeah, the movie.
but it's a different main character than the one that we previously mentioned.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. And obviously, we don't talk about the live action ones.
And
Those
okay,
are
okay, actually,
non-existent.
I have a different opinion. If you take away the fact that like, if Death Note the anime didn't existed, then Death Note the movie, I know I'm gonna get canceled for this, could have been good. It was good in my eyes as its own separate like thing.
Yeah. If the main characters had different names, I think I probably would have enjoyed it as its own thing. Maybe if they're like, oh yeah, Ryu came back and dropped his Death Note and somebody else picked it up, like that probably would have been a good story. But
Yes.
they try to copy it word for word.
I mean, and what was actually what I really liked is for you, they got William Defoe to play the
Yes,
voice.
I think he was the best part of that movie.
Yes.
I love me
Oh,
some William Defoe.
but Death Note. Actually, I don't know if you know about this, but they had a little I think it was a prologue series. Pretty much, um, it's Death Note, except pretty much another kid gets a death note,
Oh, huh.
but this one's not an idiot. He doesn't just go around mass murder. It's actually a really good story. Y'all should check it out.
Yeah,
10 out of 10 recommend.
yeah. So I didn't even rate mine, but yeah, let's go back real quick. So DXD for me, 10 out of 10. Death Note, up until episode 18 or 16, right at the halfway mark, 10 out of 10. If you include the rest of that season, then it lowers it to like 6 or 7 out of 10 as a whole. But yeah, on that note, we'll move on to my third, which is Trinity 7. And I know it's on your watch list. You
Yes.
haven't started it. It's a really good manga. I recommend it to everybody. I once I started it, I couldn't put it down. It has to do a lot with magic. So, that type of fantasy. It, I don't want to say it's an isekai because he, the main character, didn't actually die. It's just there's magic in his world. And yeah, I really recommend it. It's a ecchi harem anime, which if you follow my Twitter, like that's my thing. Is ecchi harem animes. As you've seen, that's my second one on this list, and there's a couple more after it too. So yeah, I don't know if you want to talk any more about that one since you really haven't seen it.
Yeah, I can't really put any thought into it because I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. It had 12 episodes on the first season. It had two movies that came out. The two movies were really good. Like normally the movie lowers the quality, but I think this one like increased the quality, especially the latest one. I think it's called the Trinity 7 Eternal Library. Oh my God tier. But for that one, I'd probably rate it 7 out of 10.
Oh,
So for the next one, we have Code Geass. Unfortunately, in the picture, it cut off my boy Lelouch's face. You could only see his lower half. But I mean, you recognize that smirk anywhere. The only man, I think, that could rival Light Yagami is Lelouch V. Britannia.
oh, very much. Yes, yes, I agree.
I mean, he was the leader of the Black Knights for a reason.
Wait, there is one more character, but we don't talk about them in this 2 by 3. But honest, no, no, not honest. Isaac, no, not Isaac. What's his name? Well, Isaac would be a good one, but the main character from Overlord.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
He has very good intellect. He also kind of does this whole thing where he like has two different personas.
Yeah. Which I mean, both of these two characters, Light and Lelouch, have that, kind of split personality. But yeah, so let's get into Code Geass a little bit. I got into it because of a college dorm mate. He's like, yo, if you like Death Note, you should check out Code Geass. And I was like, but it's a mecha anime. Like, I don't really enjoy those. And then I saw the first two episodes and I was sold on it, which is why we give it the 3 episode rule.
I don't know. You haven't been following that recently. You've been going with the 1 episode rule.
I know I haven't really fallen uh, followed that rule, but I'm glad I really did for this one because oh my God, it was amazing watching Lelouch's mind throughout the series, how he's able to come up with plans on the spot. Like I don't know if you remember when he fought his sister. Um, I'm forgetting her name right now. The one with the purple hair.
I'm never good with names.
Yeah, but when he fought her, she was able to like outmaneuver him, and he's instead of like panicking and running away like most people would, he's like, "Oh, no worries, I'll just come up with a different plan on the spot." And if anybody has been to like war or has that type of guerrilla experience. Like coming up with a plan on the spot is not that easy. It's actually pretty difficult. So it just shows Lelouch's intellect. Towards the end of the series, season finale, um, that ending that we got, don't worry. If you're like Soyman and you think that's the ending, there's a movie out. It's brand new. Well, 2 years old, but still newer, where it continues the series and it is canon. So I recommend you guys watch it. It was amazing. I won't say anything in regards to it. Just please watch it. stop listening to the podcast. Go watch it now. Don't actually leave us. But yeah, so moving
Oh,
on.
okay.
Oh, rating 10 out of 10. That's pretty good. Moving on to the next one. It's another ecchi harem anime, which is Data Live. Now, so the thing with Data Live is I only really like it because of Kurumi. If she wasn't in the series, it'd be really difficult for me to get into it. But with this latest season that came out, I think they knocked it out of the park. I think Kurumi only came out in 2 episodes out of all 12, and every episode was just a banger. I gave every episode like 9 out of 10. So it was so good. And the new intro song was amazing. And as soon as season 4 ended, they've never done this before. They said that season 5 is in the works already.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. So Katakawa is killing it right now with their animes. So yeah, I don't think you've watched Data Live, right?
No, and I don't plan on it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's any characters that you could really get into. I'll give like a general overview for those of you guys who don't know. So basically, the main guy is trying to save what they call spirits, which they cause like really bad earthquakes on Earth. And if he goes on a date with them and he kisses them, he like seals their power basically. So yeah, it's not like a thing everybody's into. But again, Kurumi, best waifu, right under Rias Gremory. Like I have her in my all time. She's my number two. You know, Soyman, I love my yanderes.
Oh, yes, you do.
Yeah.
It's so
So yeah,
sweet, Alpaca.
yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. We'll move over to a really popular one, which I know Trash Taste always shits on, is Dragon Ball. And I do have a picture of Dragon Ball Super, but really it's for the whole series itself. The only one I'm not including is the one that we all agree not to talk about.
Yeah, GTFO.
Yeah, exactly. And I think my personal favorite, so I got into it as a kid. As you guys remember earlier in the episode, I said that Dragon Ball was my first anime I ever watched. Now, that's because when I was growing up, I was a wee little angel, and I had my angel siblings put on the television, and they would be watching it, and I was like, hey, I want to watch my cartoons. They're like, no, 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 Dragon Ball. But it's not my usual cartoons, and so on and so forth until they got me to watch it, and I stayed watching it. So I started with the Cell Saga, and then after I finished it, I went back to the original, just Dragon Ball, and then I continued back on track with Majin Buu Saga. And for so far, my favorite definitely the Cell Saga. I think the Cell games were epic. It reminds me a lot, it brings back memories. Um, Especially playing Dragon Ball Budokai 3, I think it was called.
Oh, that one was really
I
good.
couldn't beat the Cell games for the life of me. I remember my best friend growing up was trying to help me beat it, and we stayed up all night, and when we finally beat it, we looked outside and it was daylight again.
Oh,
And let me just tell you, my parents were pissed that we stayed up all day playing video games. But which one was your favorite Saga, Simon?
oh, let's see. My favorite saga. Cell Saga is pretty good. I have to say, Cell Saga, and for Super, I'd have to go with some Super. That's Super doesn't really have anything memorable than the tournament power.
Oh, I guess you must be forgetting the main character in Super.
The main character in
Yeah,
Super. Are you talking about Pan? Goku?
that's half of it.
Vegeta?
No. Goku Black
Oh, snap. I forgot about
with
Goku
my
Black.
boy Samasu when they fused. Huge mistake, by the way. They were dominating that fight.
They just wanted to be like, oh, I'm better than you even more now.
Yeah, and that ended up being his downfall. But yeah, I mean, Goku Black Rose form, I think, was peak Dragon Ball. Like, I never really cared for Super Saiyan 3 form. It looked dumb.
Are you
I'm sorry.
kidding?
I just don't like that long hair that came out of nowhere. It's like, bro, what? I don't know. I
It's a
couldn't get
monkey thing.
into it.
You wouldn't get it.
Yeah, I wouldn't get it. I didn't like it. My main problem with Super though is that it had a lot of fillers compared to the previous sagas or story arcs.
Yes.
Because I do not remember the Majin Buu saga having this many fillers. There may be a couple in there, but it felt like Super had like 10 episodes in a row where it was nothing but filler. Like, remember when, what's that electronic girl?
Are you talking about the
Yeah,
Aria-chan?
yeah,
Yeah, the gag character.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I found
liked
that,
that filler, okay?
I don't know, I found it kind of boring. But yeah,
What about
for,
Copy Vegeta?
oh, I remember that one. Yeah, that was memorable. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Dragon Ball. I mean, it's a great series overall. Maybe 7 out of 10. It's decent, not bad.
The new movie is coming out, by the way. You need to check that out.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So yeah, definitely check it out, and then we could review it
Oh, yes.
after we watch it. All right. So on that note, we'll move on to number 7th, which is Kaguya-sama. Now, I know most of you guys are gonna judge me because it's a recently popular anime, but for good reason. Like, I think it beat out. What did it beat out? If I'm not mistaken, it beat out One Piece, maybe? I mean, it's not hard to do, but the all the One Piece fans were pissed, and that made me happy. But yeah, so Kaguya-sama, unlike the other ones, it doesn't have anyone with superpowers. There's no like notebooks from another world, no mechas. It's just your basic high school romance comedy. Like, if you guys can see on the screen, the main guy on the left, main girl on the right, they like each other, but they're afraid to confess to each other in fear of rejection. I mean, it's really relatable. And then there's a couple gag characters in there that, try to make a couple of jokes. But especially with the newest season, it was so good. It had me on the edge of my seat. And if I'm not sure if they've confirmed a fourth season, but if they do, it's going to be really good because the two main characters are coming to America to study abroad. So, in the manga, if you're a manga reader of Kaguya, you know where it's headed to, and it's really good. You probably won't be watching it, right, Suleiman?
Oh, no, I will not be. I have not started it. It's not really on my list. I mean, I did pick up the manga once and I like looked it over. It looked pretty good story wise. My prediction probably for the season finale, if they're still in America, they're gonna walk up in the hood and get shot.
I don't know about that much, but speaking of getting shot and reincarnating multiple times, we have ReZero, Return from Another Life?
Yes.
Something like that. Anyways, moving on, we know what we're talking about. We're a professional podcast. So, ReZero, you know, a lot of people say that season one was better than season two, which I disagree with. The problem that I had with season one, and I get why they did that, But the reason I had such a big problem with season one is because he kept restarting over and over so many times that I started kind of getting, lost. Like, okay, when is the story actually going to progress? And that is his ability. I'll give you guys that. They're trying to set up that no matter what, he will always come back. But it took them so long that I it's not my favorite season. It's definitely towards the end of season one, and then all of season two was amazing. Season two, the reason it's my favorite is because they finally gave Emilia some character development where it's not like, Subaru, come save me, blah, blah, blah. No, like, she's actually trying to fight her own battles. And, I could applaud that. She's trying to be the underdog. Nobody really believes in her. Not even I'm blanking on his name right now, but the main antagonist, the magic guy, he doesn't even believe in her. So yeah,
Oh yes, Roswell.
Roswell, thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna get into my point of view. So
Yeah,
the way I see it, season one was beautiful, but I mean, sure, it did have its flaws, but I do like how they portrayed his journey is very lonely because every time he resets, no one else can know about it. It's
yeah,
very lonely, you know. We don't see how lonely he feels about this until about season two, you know, when, yeah, that one thing happens. What I didn't like about season two, you wanted to give her redemption. I hate Amelia. And if I played a drinking game, I have I have a certain person that I rewatched ReZero with, and we figured out that if we wanted to just legally, of course, adults, we are adults, have to throw that out there. If we wanted to get just drunk off our butts, we would have to do, if we either ever said, just fuck you Subaru or fuck you Amelia, we'd have to take a shot. And we'd be wasted by like episode 3
yeah, probably.
because
Maybe even episode two.
she hates Subaru and I hate Amelia. Just oh
That's fair. I mean, especially Subaru, he still has a lot of flaws. My boy is just straight out simping for her. And it's like, bro, like, tone it down a bit. Like, nobody wants someone who's that needy and like overprotective. Let her do her own thing, try to figure it out.
yes, but I think that's one of the best qualities of Subaru. He's relatable. There's some things that aren't relatable, like when he's being all creepy. Ugh.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say return by death, because I personally don't have that.
Hey, you don't know till you try.
True.
I got you. Don't worry. I'll let you
Yeah.
know if it's real.
But yeah, so what would I rate ReZero? That's a tough question. So without a certain character in season two who's my best girl in the show, I kind of want to rate it 6 out of 10. And yes, it still made my top nine. It was a tough decision, but I definitely had to put it in there. But yeah, I think 6 out of 10. What about you?
I'd say a 7 for me.
Okay, it's
Didn't make my top 10.
right about
Didn't go
the
to top 10.
same. All right, and then I'll finish it off by putting in my last on the 3 by 3 Konosuba, which best girl Megumin explosion. And I think the main reason why I like it is because unlike every other isekai, this is like a comedy isekai where you think that Aqua is a main protagonist, but she's kind of not. She's actually pretty useless. We just talked about ReZero. At least Emilia is doing something. Aqua, what can she do? Water tricks? Like,
I
that's
mean,
kind of useless to me.
honestly, when it comes down to it, I think she might even be more useless than Sakura
Yeah,
from Naruto.
yeah, I think so too.
Oh,
And Obviously, we have Darkness in there, who's hot. I wish they gave her a little bit more character development. Maybe we'll get a new season. I haven't really checked into it if we'll get a new one.
I haven't seen any news about it, and I doubt it.
Yeah. So, now I did see that there's a Konosuba D&D campaign somewhere out there. So we might try to get a hold of it, and if we do, probably start a campaign within that Konosuba world. That'd be
Oh,
pretty cool.
that'd be dope.
Yeah. So I think overall I'd rate Konosuba like 7 or 8. So let's just be fair and put it right down the middle, 7.5 out of 10. And what would you rate it?
I'd either give it 5.5 or 6.
Really, that low?
Aqua
Yeah, she
just
is pretty
she
bad.
ruins it, man.
Yeah,
But Darkness is she's very good, and Megumi is the reason why the show gets higher.
yeah,
And the main
definitely.
character's all right. He gives me vibes of what is it? Tatsumi from Kamigaku.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, and one show that I didn't put on my 3 by 3, but I will do honorable mention for it is a really recent one, Rising Shield Hero.
Mm.
Amazing, rest in peace, the voice actor. He was so talented, voiced so many voices in the anime community.
R.I.P.
And what's that?
He said R.I.P.
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna get my new season of Iroku-sama Demon High School. Uh,
I
but
never really saw that one.
well, I mean, it's not like I'm getting a new season now, so I'm not gonna tell you to
Yeah,
watch it.
that's fair. But yeah, I wanted to mention Shield Hero. So the reason it didn't really make my top 9 is because I felt like these 9 had more of an impact at different points in my life where it was worth putting in there. Shield Hero is more recent, so maybe in the future I might drop, ReZero and substitute Shield Hero in there. And Shield Hero, the reason I like it so much, not only because of the boss ass music, but because the main character is so relatable, especially in season 1, where everybody constantly is against him. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have felt like that at some point in your life where, no matter what you do, you feel like you can't do anything right and that the whole world is against you. And, how they set him up, you know who I'm talking about, how they set him up
Yeah,
was extremely messed up, but also kind of realistic. Like it can happen in the real world, and sometimes it does. And Amber Heard, Johnny Depp case.
mm,
So she's the same as the character in Shield Hero. Some would say worse, but yeah. So definitely watch season 2. Really good. And I believe they mentioned we are getting a season 3 for that. So
yes,
yeah,
yes.
that's pretty much it for mine. Now we will transition into Soyman's, and I'm
Woo!
professional, so it won't take me that long. But
All right. So first up, we got Tokyo Ghoul, and it is mixed all around. Okay, so for one, it means a lot to me because it was one of I think it was the second or third anime that I started. I started in high school, but season one, I loved it. I love season one so much. I love the transformation of this wimpy little bitch transforming into a complete anime badass.
yeah, that's when I really started liking it, after his transformation. Because I think I told you when we used to work at that one place.
Oh yes,
But I started that show like 2 or 3 times, and I always dropped it by like episode 2 or 3.
until you met me.
Yeah, and you told me that it was your favorite, and I was like, maybe I'll give it a shot. and I struggled through the first 7, 8 episodes. And then what happened?
You fell in love because he got tortured like brutally by one of the characters, Jason.
The
The
737,
one
730.
1097.
Yep.
It's a beautiful, iconic
And
moment.
you guys
And then,
can't see us, but we're like cracking our fingers like Jason did in the show.
and how Kaneki does it now too.
Oh yeah.
Um,
You know what I thought was really messed up
what
was what's her name? The one that inherited him the
inherited who's what? Oh, his ghoul,
yeah,
like that he inherited.
yeah.
Rize.
Rize. Thank you. Um I thought him being tortured mentally by Rize's image. I don't know if you remember that scene where he brings up his mom and like
Oh, that hit different, man.
yeah, that hit me right in the heart, man.
I mean, but they also did re-bring up his mom in season three.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, okay, so I loved season one. Season two, what was it like? Tokyo Route A was booty, and that's because they decided to go away from the manga. Anytime they go away from the manga is when the anime starts to become trash. But I mean, they recovered in season three. I loved season three. Um, and then I believe we even got a season four, or it was a season 3.5 or something. But I did not like the ending of that. That was booty. That it was no poo poo. But I mean, so taking into account all of that, I'd say I still give it a 7.
7,
Yeah.
not bad. Um, Not counting season one, I'd give it like 8 or 9 because of the one-eyed owl. You know that
Oh yes,
she's my
yes.
wife. Um, Counting season one, I think it lowers it to like a 6 for
Oh,
me.
the heart hit me in the feels.
I know, man. It's just that
Is that including Unravel?
no, no, obviously not. I'm just saying, weakling.
Little bitch boy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah,
I mean, fair rating, I guess, if you're a scrub. But for my second one, I know you haven't heard of this one because most people haven't. I do not remember the name, Japanese name. I am sorry for that. But the English name is Black God. And that one, oh, the fight scenes, the story, the plot twists, just and of course fan service. There's some fan service, but it was older, so it didn't have as much fan service. But main it. I don't know if I want to get too deep into it because it's a lot of spoilers, but pretty much the premise is, I believe there's like deities or gods, and pretty much they can link up with someone, and each okay, so humans are each separated into a category. There's A, B, and C. And if you're A, you're strong. B, you're mid. C, you're trash. What are you even doing alive?
that sounds a lot like an anime I told you I'm watching right now.
Oh,
Classroom of the Elite, where they're divided into classes where you want to be in class A because they get the most points and points buy you stuff. And then class D, it goes all the way down to D, is the absolute worst. They think you're a garbage human being, basically.
well, the
So it sounds
difference.
similar.
I mean, it's similar, but the difference is that what is it? I can't remember the term they had, but I think it's doppelganger.
Yeah.
Pretty much, there's three different versions of you: the root A, the root B, the root C. So, thus, if you ever run into your doppelganger, you will the weaker root will die,
Oh.
and the only way for the weaker root to survive is if they kill the stronger root first, because they're the same strength. It's just the root, when they connect with one of the deities, makes both the deity and the root stronger. So if you're a C root, you're going to be making your deity technically weaker.
Hmm.
But negative root is what you become if you kill the root that's higher than you, and then you live.
Hmm.
And I mean,
It sounds like something I'd get into. How many seasons does it have?
I believe it only had one or two, but it would then,
Oh, okay.
surprisingly, even with just 1 to 2 seasons, 10 out of 10.
Huh.
And obviously, you can't rate it if you've never seen it, but
But I'll tell you what I will do. I'll put it on my watch list.
you will have to find a website that we are not allowed to talk about.
Oh, if you guys are in the know, you'll know. Any knowers in chat? Any knowers?
Exactly, exactly. All right. Now next, we have Parasite the Maxim. This one, I love the premise. I love the fight scenes. I love the story, the character development, the antagonist, the just the all around like world view of how the world looks. It was really good. It only had 1 season, but that's what made it so good. I personally prefer 1 season anime because then I don't have to wait.
That's fair.
But the main character, I really liked them because technically there's two if you think about it, because there's the parasite and then there's whatever his name is. I don't know.
Yeah, main character.
Yeah, but it turned out really well. He grew from being a nerdy little boy to being like an emo, numb jock type feel. He was just numb. I don't know.
That just sounds like Kaneki.
I mean, he was kind of badass like that. I mean, he could transform his hand.
Yeah.
Um, but then at the end, he finally gets his humanity back and everything after he has the big fight of the anime. Then things slowly dissipate. But no, it's really cool. So pretty much the parasites, what most parasites do is they wriggle into your arm and then they crawl all the way up to your brain and they eat your head and then they transform into your head and take over your body. But main character was like, "Hey, yo, what? Nah, I'm gonna use my headphones," and he like trapped it in his arm to where it only took over his hand, and they kind of worked as a symbiosis. So with all that, I mean, I'd have to give it 8 out of 10.
And I've actually have started it, and I got to episode. What's the one where the dog is a um, parasite?
I'm a binger. I don't remember episodes.
I think it was definitely past episode one. I
Oh,
think it
really?
was up to like three or four, and I just dropped it. It's definitely not for me. So I don't know. Uh, I'm kind of biased. Mine would probably be between 1 and 2 out of 10.
My heart has been crushed.
Now that's when you cue the Unravel song.
I'm not even gonna
But
try.
we can't play it because DMCA.
Exactly. But I mean, of course, moving on, we have one that y'all may have heard of, probably heard of. It's a beautiful isekai. It's called what is it? That time I got reincarnated as a slime. It is about Rimuru, the man, the myth, the legend, the non-binary, gender-having slime little guy. He got truck-cooned. So then what does he do? He spawns in. No, he didn't get truck-cooned. He got, I think, stabbed or something, like saving some kids. Either way, he died, and then he said all these things that he wanted to have in the next world, but they pretty much just turned him into a slime. So when he gets there, he has a bunch of different abilities, and he levels up slowly by slowly, and eventually he becomes a god tier character that um, I don't know how I'd put him relatability, but as for ability to kick ass, he's definitely beating Goku and rivaling Honest Voltego.
Oh, that high, huh?
Yes, his power is especially when he like spoiler, 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 spoiler. Like, yes. Um,
So, with all that in mind, what would you rate it?
well, I haven't seen season two, but season one is getting a 10 out of 10.
Oh, nice.
Mm,
Uh, I started it. I liked it. I need to continue it. I think I completed episode one and two. I need to keep going, but I definitely didn't drop it. It's still on my watch list for sure. I just put it on the back burner, but I will pick it up
mm.
again.
I do like how he's kind of not just like overpowered, he's overpowered and smart.
Yeah.
Because what happens when you mix Goku and Dr. Stone?
Huh.
Oh, but Bleach is my next
Oh, now Bleach.
one. We talked about it earlier in the episode about how we're having an anime drop this fall after a 10-year wait.
Yep.
This is that anime. It is my childhood. It is my teenage years. Man, Bleach. It is beautiful. Swords, fan service, badass transformations. This is like, it's pretty much, let's be honest, people. It's Dragon Ball with swords. It honestly is, except the one thing that I'm sorry to say is going to bring it down in tier list will be its filler. Of course, I'm going to say that where it is at the end, but I'm excited for the Juhabak
Yeah.
coming soon, the Thousand Year Blood War.
Yeah, the Thousand Year Blood War was one of the best manga story arcs that Bleach has had, at least in my opinion. I can't wait for it to get animated, and I think I talked to you about it, where I personally wasn't satisfied where Bleach ended in the manga.
Thank you. Yes, the what is it? Yeah, I felt it was rushed too, and I did hear a rumor. I believe it was from you that he's actually for the anime gonna go with the ending he intended upon,
Yeah, exactly.
but he was
So
rushed beforehand, so he couldn't get it out.
and if you guys don't know, the reason why he rushed it is because the studio was pushing him to hurry up. And so, due to time constraints, he had to basically uh, write it quickly. But, rumor has it, nothing is confirmed yet, that there's going to be a lot of new scenes that are going to be in the anime that weren't in the manga. And we're going to get his true ending, so maybe we don't get, that spoiler that happens when
Oh
spoiler
yes,
does this.
I did not like spoiler man.
Yeah, exactly.
But as for my rating, with the filler factor taken into account, it would with filler 6.5,
Okay, yeah, I was gonna give it 7. Yeah,
but without filler
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I could agree with that,
Oh,
especially if we include Aizen.
ooh, Aizen is the mastermind and OP, but they keep restricting him.
And we will see him in this new season.
Yes, but we will never ever again talk about his butterfly
Yeah,
form.
we don't talk about that form.
But you know what we do talk about? The next one on this list, Hunter x Hunter. And the main reason, I'm gonna be honest, the main reason that this one is on the list is because it was my first ever anime.
Hmm.
This is where I started. This is where I began my otaku journey.
Your journey to degeneracy.
Yes, sir. Let's see. I mean, I loved the Nen factor. I mean, so what I did was I started on the 1990s one, but then 1990 didn't go as far as the 2010 one. So when the 90s one ended, I continued over to the 2010 one. And I had to go rewatch 2010 one because that one was way better. And it had aspects that weren't in the 1990s one. But I will say, fights amazing. Yeah, what else do I like about it? I mean, honestly, it was the fights, the like the sometimes it was the story too, man. The story was really good. My favorite part was the Chimera Ant arc, which I mean I know you can't relate because you haven't seen it,
Yeah.
but it was beautiful. I'm very sad that it hasn't had an anime continuation yet, but there is talk about the author because the author he has been doing more chapters lately. He actually restarted chapters, and we're hoping that we'll get another season of Hunter x Hunter. My prediction is like 2030. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, a lot of us were losing hope with your previous choice, which was Bleach. I mean, we waited 10 years. So for any of those that want to give up, there's still hope.
Okay, I don't want to get canceled. Oh, and oh, this one's a really good one. It's not.
What was your rating for this one?
Oh, that's right. I didn't rate it.
I can't rate it because I haven't watched it, but what would you give it overall?
I'd have to go with a seven.
7 out of 10?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's really good. Now Kakagure.
Oh, this is the one you
I
told me to get
started you.
into.
I started you on it, but then you
We went
wanted.
to Lucifer.
Yeah, you wanted. You were like, hey, I need to finish Lucifer, and I was like, hey, I don't mind. It's a really good show. Not
Yeah.
anime. We're not talking about that.
Yeah.
Kakagure though. That one. Oh, it's a slice of life type thing. If you were rich, of course. But pretty much, it is a. It's, and honestly, from what you've said, it reminds me of Classroom of the Elite.
Hmm.
Except this time they're divided by their money,
Oh.
and pretty much the easiest way to move up in the ranking is to gamble. But if you lose everything, you become the lowest of the low. They literally put a collar on you and you become their dog.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Don't
Don't Threaten Me was a good time.
not all of them. Bro, there's a psycho one with like she has an eye patch and she likes to play Russian roulette as her game. She's one of the elite four or whatever.
Ayo? Is
As you
she
know,
yandere?
yeah.
Oh no, do I have a new waifu?
I don't know about waifu, man. I mean, but there's a student council, and pretty much they they're the highest rank, of course. And so obviously, main chick who is crazy, she gets turned on by gambling, pretty much because I don't know, not turned on by the gambling. She gets turned on by it, but like by high stakes. Um, but yeah, she challenges the council. That's season one. Season two, I didn't really fully watch, but pretty much people from other schools come over and something involving the business. That's where I stopped. It stopped drawing me in after that. So I'd have to say, if we're counting season one and two, it'd be like a six. But if it's season one, just season one, because of the ending alone, I'd go with an eight.
Oh, not bad. I'll probably end up rating it later after I watch it.
I mean, from the 5 seconds you saw, what was your rating? Because you did watch 5 seconds of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, especially if you say it's kind of like Classroom of the Elite,
Oh,
which
totally.
I'm really into. So yeah, I like those type of animes.
Let's see. So what we have next is one that Hikaru and I have differing opinions on. He did not like the ending for Platinum End. That is why he is probably going to rate it so low. I loved the story, the fight scenes. I didn't like the cat chick, whatever her name is. See, she's so unimportant to me. I can't even remember her name. She is Nico Nico. No one cares. But I like most of the candidates. Pretty much, suicidal people get chosen at random, or suicidal or sad. Pretty much, you got depression. Hey, you might become the next god. But pretty much, yeah, that's how it went. They're all chosen. There's 13 of them, and at first they're killing each other, but then they figure out, hey, let's not do that. And then I can't even get into it because I feel like I would spoil it. I do not want to do that. It is worth it. Just the ending, he does not like.
Yeah.
and it left me feeling empty, hollow, and sad. But I still rate it a 6.5.
Yeah, I really liked everything about that anime. Even the OP and even the first main villain was kind of a little bit relatable. I won't spoil it, but yeah, he has some.
Oh yes, I
Yeah,
remember.
you know who I'm talking about.
He's relatable, except for some of his stuff.
Yeah, yeah, it's like okay, dude, you're going too far, but yeah,
Yeah.
definitely give it a watch. As for the season finale, I would recommend as soon as everybody gets like their quote unquote happy ending, stop it there. Do not continue it because it will piss you off.
But good news, you don't have to ever worry. Hey, will there be a second season?
Oh yeah, I
But with that
guarantee
comment,
you.
we have to move on to Fruit Basket because otherwise we are gonna rage.
Yeah,
We save the raging for the gaming.
yeah.
But and the Yu-Gi-Oh unboxing.
No, that's just saltiness. I don't think it's
Oh
raging.
yeah, no, that's just all you can take. But on to
But yeah,
Fruit
so
Basket.
your final one.
Fruit Basket, oh my, Fruit Basket is beautiful. Okay,
Now,
so
what is fruit basket? Like slice of life or isekai? What is it?
it's slice of life with a hint of fantasy.
Huh. Okay.
So pretty much, they have all of these zodiacs in one person representing them. But of course, there's also God represented as a he, she, they, them. I don't know. It's something. It turns out to be a
It's a
dude.
god.
Yeah, but pretty much they have all the zodiacs, and of course, sometimes the person who is the zodiac of that generation turns into the animal.
Oh wait, I think you did tell me about this anime. I need to pick it up.
Yes. What I really liked is they actually added onto the story of the zodiacs and added in their own, which is the cat. But everyone hates the cat,
Hmm.
and the cat character favorite best boy. Hmm. But he doesn't turn into an animal. He turns into a cat monster. But don't watch the reboot. That's what I recommend. Never the reboot, but the the older one, good. And if you don't like the older one, just read the manga. The manga is a blessing. But with that, I will say 10 out of 10.
Huh. I'll definitely have to pick it up. So
Yes.
that's it for our 3x3s. So let's come back to our main screen. Ba-bum.
But boy,
So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the first podcast episode. And we have a few ideas for the future. I'll give a few little teasers without spoiling it too much, but we've had talks about interviewing people,
yes.
and we've had talks about doing a smash or pass.
Yeah.
We've done potentially tier lists,
Yes.
and also we might have a few more 3x3s in the future.
Oh, yeah. And
So
by now we should have, I don't know if we have released it yet, but as of this recording, we will be doing a D&D session campaign tomorrow for you.
yeah, so uh, as the time of recording, we will be starting episode 0 of the campaign tomorrow. I'm not sure which one will come out first. I'm hoping this one comes out
Oh,
first. Otherwise,
honestly,
it's like, wait, what?
it's gonna be so awkward.
Yeah. But yeah, we have a lot of content coming over to you guys soon. Um, we're planning to do either a weekly or bi-weekly podcast. We'll see how this one goes first, editing wise. But I don't know. Do you have anything else? Where can people find you?
Well, obviously on Twitter they can find me at Soyman_Fada, which will be in the description below.
Yeah.
You can also find me on YouTube with the same Soyman_Fada and Twitch. Do I have to say it again? It's what is it? Twitch.live/Soymanfada.
Yeah, there you go. And you guys know mine is BT Hikaru over on Twitch, and I believe it's the same on YouTube. And for my Twitter, it's Mamoru Hikaru1 because somebody out there stole my name. And when I find you, what's Liam Neeson's line? I will find you and I will kill you.
Yeah,
Not actually, but yeah,
I
don't take my
mean,
name.
to be fair, I found him on TikTok.
Oh God.
Yeah, we found you.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
we found you. We're coming for you. But I think that's pretty much it. Be sure to follow us on social media.
And obviously, we will have all the links in the description
Yeah, and
for
yeah,
us.
thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you next episode.
Toodles.